She used to be an actress.
Oh, really? Did she do anything out of scene?
And I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
What's a pilot?
Well, you know the shows on TV?
Yeah.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television. And on this invention,
television, the show's called shows, right?
Well, the way they pick TV shows is they make one show. That show's called a pilot. Then they show that one show to the people who pick shows. And on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get chosen and become television programs. Some don't. Become nothing. She starred in one of the ones that became nothing.
Every time. Smooth as fucking silk. Way to go, Kev.
Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me as always is my tri-pilot tops. It's Captain Phil Bras's show.
Hey, how's it going, baby?
Pretty good. I kind of like it when you call me baby. No one calls me baby. Not even Carly Rae Jepsen.
I would call you baby all day.
Thank you.
No problem. It's the least I can do.
This is episode 202. We're back off of, or coming off of CouchCon. We're feeling good.
Coming off of Columbus Day.
What
is he that bad of a guy?
Columbus? Really? I don't think he was a bad dude. I think he was a huckster, is what he was. He was kind of a con man, right? He was kind of like, hey, I'll find your Eastern India route. You're gonna get those spices too. Those guys lickety split. He's just a dude who wanted to get out on the road. He was probably a very charismatic man,
for sure. And we were talking about charismatic men before we. This show is built in the back of his back burp. Here's the thing: we can look back in history, and we can say, hey, Columbus found the New World, right?
Sure.
Did shit happen that was very fucking wrong?
Totally. But
he found the New World, right?
He did find it.
You know what I mean, though? But like when people went west to find gold, fucking shit happened.
Oh yeah, lawlessness.
Right? Okay, corral. But to advance in the world, to grow,
gotta break a few eggs, baby.
Is Columbus the nicest guy in the whole world? No.
Yes. Oh, no.
Should kids get the day off from school?
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
But you can't make him out to be a fucking complete villain.
He was an Italian gentleman that went to a couple
Desamore.
Ooh, I'm gonna get you with a spice.
I like the pizza.
I wanted to go to England. Will you give me the money? No. I go to Spain. Oh, will you give me the money to go across the ocean? No. I go to Portugal. Yeah, we'll give you the money. That's fine.
Fuck yeah, we got nothing.
Portugal will give you some money. Then you got the Nina,
but
right? What else you got?
The Patenta,
and you got the Patenta, and you got the Santa Clausa.
Ho ho ho
ho ho ho!
Real
spice.
If you want to, you can go back and you can find something wrong with fucking Malcolm X. You can find something wrong with Martin Luther King. You can find something wrong with everybody. Because
you can go back and find something wrong with Michael Jackson if you look hard enough. Some people can say, "What's a great American comic?" Go back long enough and dig in Bill Cosby's background. You could probably find something.
Yeah,
awful.
I mean, but stuff. There is consequences to every bit of growth.
I'm gonna call, my brother's calling. Can I talk to him?
Yeah, it's fine. Fucking yay.
Hello? Hello?
Talk to me. Hey, what's up?
Nothing. What's up with you? You're my brother. I love you.
Not much.
Hey,
what were you talking about earlier?
The jacket and the $100.
Oh, I want to ask you about the jacket and the $100. You did make that exchange for the car, correct?
Okay. Yeah, I did do that.
And you got the car up and running, right? Didn't you have? I was hearing you talk the other day.
What's up?
All you have to do. It's up and running. Because last I heard, all you had to do is get a new battery for it, right?
Oh yeah. Well, before that, I pulled the transmission out, put a new clutch in, then put it back together.
Tell me some more about this jacket.
It's a hunting jacket. It's a very. It was about $300 some odd brand new when I bought it.
Good Lord.
And it's like there's like 3 jackets in one.
3 jackets in one?
Does he do a lot of hunting but prior to?
Yeah, what's your hunting schedule look like?
No, it's not mine. It's my other buddies.
So you
hunting
stole
now.
your buddy's
I bought it-
jacket.
He sold a paperclip.
No, I didn't. No, I said I bought it for $300, and then.
Why would you buy a
the reason
jacket
why I
for
bought it is
$300
it's
if you don't
it's
hunt?
so warm during the winter.
All right. So is the car up and running? Do you love it?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's some things I need to work on, but yeah, it runs great.
That's awesome.
Is it tight?
Blake wants to know if the car is tight. Think of the sexual reference.
Loose like lizard sleeve.
There you go. He says loose like a wizard slave. What? So are you calling me about Ryan's moving?
Yeah, because you talked to me earlier about Ryan's.
Oh yeah. Are you available Wednesday to go help Ryan move?
After work. I work noon to 9.
Then we have nothing else to talk about.
Okay.
I'm gonna go down there with Dad and help. Hello.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the day off work because I don't think Ryan's got anyone to help him move, so I'm gonna go down there with Dad and help him.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for the update and the.
This phone call may have been rough.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Anyway, that's fine. We'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good.
All right, love you. Goodbye.
Oh, see, he said I love you. He's your brother. My own mother didn't say I love you.
My own brother does love me.
He loved you a long time?
He didn't give birth to me like your mother did. You know what? Your mom. I saw her recently at Walmart, and she said she loved me. So
I wasn't there, right?
you weren't there, no.
And you saw her in public?
Sure.
You said hi to her?
Yeah, it's a couple years ago, actually.
Oh.
It's one of those things where like
Because she never leaves the house anymore.
I only see your mom around you. Now, tell me if this ever happens to you. You see people in a certain context, and that is the only place they exist. So I remember I was at Walmart a couple years ago, and your mom saw me, and for the life of me, like for the first 15, 20 minutes, I had no idea who she was.
Really?
And it's not like we talked for 15 or 20 minutes.
Sure.
She's like, hey, Jason. I was like, oh, hey, how are you? And she's like, good, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
And she's part of the Chippewa. And later I was like, oh, my God, that was Lynn. But at first, it did not even hit me. I'm terrible
because
that
she had her
way.
wig on, probably.
Does that happen to you, though? Like, where you, like, see people out of where you normally see them and you have no idea who they are?
This is one of my things, and I have talked to 2 wives about this, is there's a lot of times I see people in public, and I recognize them. I'm like, hey, you know, hey, how's it going? And then I don't introduce or do any of that shit, and then I just move along.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you didn't, my ex-wife hated it. She's like, why didn't you introduce me? I was like, because I don't remember that fucking person's name.
Well, what's the trick to that, right? You have to get that person to introduce themselves.
Right, but yeah.
You have to trick them
Sure.
into saying their name so you can, like, register it and then you say it 50 times in your head real quick. Be like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I know your name now.
Right. Not too long ago, we took Velma to the vet. This show is built in the back of his back burp.
Milk sack.
We took her to the vet, and when we came out, I saw somebody that I recognized at the vet. And it was a guy who is best friends with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
And
a guy who's best friends with a lady? That's
Yeah.
suspicious.
Yeah. Well, not as suspicious as her having an affair.
Was he a gay guy?
No.
I don't know about that.
So he's always been really cool to me, even after the show is built on the back of his back burps. He was always polite when he saw me after the divorce.
That's nice. That's very.
And so I return the favor because I'm not, if you're shitty with me, then fuck you. But I had this big 110-pound dog, and he was standing next to a cage of cats, and my dog does not like cats.
Yeah.
And so my wife said, "I'll take this," and she left. And I talked to him for a few minutes, and then I walked away. She solved it by just saying, I don't care.
I don't know your name. I'm going to excuse myself because I know you don't know the name. I'm not going to make it awkward.
That's why I'm married to her.
Here's a couple examples I have of people who recognize me who I had no idea who they were.
Your mom.
Well, no, my mom
You're
knows.
dead.
who I
Oh,
am.
you're dead for sure. You're dead for sure.
One time I was at, these both take place in like downtown Peoria, oddly enough. I was at, what was that? Taste of Peoria. All the local businesses, all local restaurants make a little something and charge $1 to $3 to get a little sample.
Sure.
I'm down there, and some really attractive lady comes up to me and says, "Hey, Jason." And I was like, what? I was like, oh, hey, all right. I have no idea who this fucking person is. No idea. Hey, how you doing? Good, how you doing? All right, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre.
You don't remember who she was?
I have no idea. And I'm not a philanderer, you know?
What does that mean? Do you have a lot of money?
No. That's a philanthropist.
So close.
Another time, my daughter was in the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Okay.
So I went down there to see her.
in March.
I think I was by myself. Yeah, I was in March. And I think I was by myself. Her and her older brother, ran this parade. And they were like throwing candy or something else. Oh, it was very good. So then I start to walk back to my car. And this girl catches up to me and she says, "Hey, Jason, how are you?" I look at this girl. I have no idea who this girl is. I think she was like the sister of an ex-girlfriend or something, but I have no idea.
How do you handle that?
And she was like talking to me for a little bit. And I was like, "Oh, yeah. And it's like, "Well, I'm right up here. Tell your family I said hi." That's like a super generic thing to say, right?
You said that to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, "Oh, it's okay. Yeah, tell your family I said hi." And I just like kept walking. I don't know who the fuck what is wrong with me that I don't remember people?
I don't know, because you remember like weird like Pearl Jam
Well, that's
trivia.
important. That's important though.
But yeah, I don't ever remember anybody's name. I'm horrible at people's names. I know you're supposed to say it 3 times when you meet them, but how do I know I'm going to meet this person or see this person 10 years from now? So why repeat their name 3 times?
There's a couple of people at work that like I almost have no contact with, and they remember my name from almost day one, and I was like, that's impressive. Those
But
people
you
are
know
going
why?
places.
It's because you're charismatic.
I don't know if that's right.
I think that's right.
Anyway, it's very bizarre. It's very awkward.
How bizarre?
I had that conversation with Kevin recently. I was at his trivia night, and he was playing How Bizarre. Do you know who sings that?
No.
It's a band called OMC.
Okay.
And it's he's like, what does OMC stand for? And
Occupational mental challenged.
I don't think that's right. He said, what does it stand for? And I said, it's something Millionaires Club. And he's like, no, it's not. It's 1 Million Clowns. And I was like, is that right? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right.
I know that night because that's the night that me, you, and the stewardess Molly won the trivia contest.
Yes, yeah.
And you were nice enough to let me use that whole $30 to pay my bill.
That's
it was
exactly
half
right.
of what I paid.
But I said, are you sure that's right? So he looks it up, and he was not right.
Oh.
So I was right. But it was something, like it was a region of Mexico Millionaires Club.
Okay.
Anyway.
Orlando.
Sure. Orlando, the famous region of Mexico. I am excited to talk into this microphone.
I am always when I'm around you. Yeah.
I can't wait to discuss today's pilot.
What is today's pilot?
It's called Defenders of Dynatron City. It's a cartoon.
Are you sure you're excited to talk about it?
Yeah. I'm probably as excited, if not more.
A root canal.
I've never had a root canal.
You never had a root canal?
No. All my
Oh my
roots
God.
are anti-canal.
Oh, jeez. You ever had a colonoscopy?
No.
Jesus Christ.
You
ever had Jesus Christ?
What does that mean? Like into my heart?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. What happened?
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I think it was...
he was a very charismatic guy.
Oh, Jesus was... Oh, God. Greatest cult of all time.
Cult of personality? I already used that, didn't I?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one more. I remember I went to, like, church camp when I was young. It was like going into 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. It was 6 years. So I remember I went to church camp, and I think right after I got to church camp was the first time I saw, like, a porn magazine.
Right. Well, you want to hear my church spiel real quick?
I guess I'm done, so sure, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I honestly thought you paused. You did a podcast pause.
Oh, I did a podcast burp.
Oh.
Which I'm notorious for.
You saw your first porno magazine and scene.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, you mentioned church. Go ahead. I forgot what I was going to say.
So, I was not raised in a churchy family. Me and my mom never went to church.
Mm-hmm. And it was just you and her, despite her having an older son. That she didn't like as much as you, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I remember, let's say 16 because I was driving. It was 15, and I wanted to play. My buddies who went to a church said, "Hey, we want you on the church basketball team."
Hell yeah!
But you have to become a member of the church to be on the team.
How tall are you? 6'1"?
Yeah,
you're 6'1". I mean, by all accounts, back then you're very slender. Probably
I was a semi-moderately halfway decent basketball
You've been
player.
only smoking for 14 years at that point?
Yeah. And so I joined this church, and I used to go to all the youth group stuff.
You joined the church.
Yeah, I was baptized.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the denomination?
Lutheran. And I joined the basketball team, and I went to all the youth meetings and everything.
Yeah.
And our pastor was, the youth leader, right? And his daughter was fucking hot, which happens a lot, right? Pastors' kids are super hot. Woo! And I went, and I was probably, like I said, we went to the whole season, but like the more I hung out with those people, the more I realized how like black sheepy I was, because I was smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yeah!
And I had masturbated, obviously.
Awesome!
And I cussed a lot. And I just so then the pastor's daughter was like, kind of had the hots for me because I was the bad boy.
You're the bad. Did something happen here? Would you cut to the chase, please?
I will cut to the chase. Nothing ever happened except for the fact that that's when I first realized that like those religious organizations, like they tell you what you want to hear, they make you feel, and then they swoop you in and like I started to feel a lot of guilt. Like you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
do it.
And so I said I can't do it, and then I didn't.
You bowed out.
Bowed out.
So he had a hot daughter.
Oh, she was hot. She had long blonde hair. And she was beautiful. He looked like he looked like somebody on The Simpsons. Any character on The Simpsons.
Okay, like Barney at the bar.
But I almost say he was so hot. She was really good looking.
The youth pastor was so hot.
And he played the guitar. No.
Oh yeah.
And I never felt comfortable. You know what I mean? I scored 36 points in one game, but I never felt comfortable.
You really are, for multiple reasons, the Wilt Chamberlain of the Lutheran League.
Awesome.
Very good, me.
Go ahead. You go ahead. That was awesome.
But you couldn't get that score with.
I didn't try because I had guilt. Mm-hmm. Like in normal situation, if she wasn't the pastor's daughter,
you had boner guilt.
No, I had religious guilt.
Yeah. That's
and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I don't like it.
So I stopped that stuff.
Well, it's never too late to go back to church, is what I say to you.
Church is just like AA when I was in AA.
Mm-hmm.
Like
AAA.
You feel a sense of community. Mm-hmm. You get into it, and then they're like, but you can't hang out with other people because they're bad, and just is AAA a good place to pick up ladies? I think so. I mean, if you want your car towed, and when I say car towed, you know what I mean. Like
lick the inside of the asshole?
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
That's what I want.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Trying to get a girl to lick your asshole is hard times.
I don't think I want that.
You never had that?
I don't think I've ever had that. I've had girls try to do things.
To do stuff?
I had one girlfriend who was very trying to, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't want that.
Right.
I don't want that.
You said it more than once?
Yeah.
You should never have to say it more than once.
You think it's one and done with that kind of thing?
Yeah, if somebody's and you're like, not too into that. They should just be like, okay, he's not into that.
No. I'm more into whips and chains.
When's the last time you were tied up?
Oh, boy.
At work today.
Probably at work today. That's exactly right. Do you have any fan feedback?
Hell no. We don't have any fan feedback. Hell no, we don't have enough fan feedback.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Can't do it.
captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Bing bong.
I feel like we should make a phone call today. We haven't done that for
Let's
a while.
do it.
Who should we call?
I don't know. That's the problem.
We haven't called some of our friends in a while, right?
Do we have friends?
Oh, no, we don't.
Kevin?
I have a cop in my phone. I don't think we should call him.
Ooh, who's a cop? How do you make friends with a cop?
That's a story offline.
Want to call your girlfriend? This show is built into fizzbag, burps, and rejections.
My burps are incredible.
Why is that tonight? Is it because you're hoppy? You got hoppies?
Oh, I've drank a few beers, that's for sure.
You got hoppiness going? When was the last time you were hoppy?
Oh, boy. Who should I call?
Stephanie Clark.
No, she hates us.
She loves us.
What do you think?
I should have thought about this beforehand.
Is there a place we should call?
Let's call a movie theater and ask them what the hottest movie is.
Okay.
All right.
What is there a movie out right now that you want to see?
I want to see. Well, I want to know when the Joker's coming out because I do want to see the Joker.
Oh, that's like this Friday.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. Why do you want to see that?
Because he's a horrible actor who overacts, and I'm happy that it's not Batman, Superman, but it's the Joker. It's like a
You think Joaquin Phoenix is overacts?
He overacts. He's a great actor, but he overacts.
Let's ask him about the Joker. I have some questions about the film. I want to talk to someone there. They used to have a thing where like you would call the movie theater and they would give you all the times, but it's all online anymore.
Yeah.
So you think a phone call should go directly to a person?
You would think so. She'll probably be 13 or 14.
Golly, I hope that's not true. She wouldn't even be allowed to see the Joker because it's rated R.
Because she might be a smoker. Do you think she'd be a midnight tooker?
Peterson
Pekin, this is Carol. How can I help you?
Carol?
Yep.
Hey, Carol. My name is Jason. I had a question about a movie that was coming up. I don't know if you could help me out.
All right, which one?
Joker?
Uh-huh.
Are you guys going to be showing Joker?
Yes.
Okay, because you remember when the Dark Knight came? I don't think it was the Dark Knight. I think it was the Dark Knight Rises, wasn't it? When they had like a shooting in Colorado somewhere.
Oh, I'm not sure when that one happened.
But do you remember that incident though?
I heard about it.
Yeah, it was like some kid. Maybe it was during the Dark Knight or something. Some kid loved the Joker so much he went to like a Colorado movie theater. And he shot up the whole place during the screening of the film. And I've heard some places are not going to be showing the Joker because of that incident. But you're not one of those places?
No, we're going to show. Were you looking on just in general, or are we going to play it?
Just in general. I'm not going to be one of those midnight guys that comes out. I just want to see it at my own leisure.
No, we'll have it.
What kind of security do you have out there at the Beacon Theater?
Like...
Do you have someone with like a baton or something? So I mean, like
I can ask my general manager, but...
I don't think that's necessary. I just didn't know because I feel like Pekin's a relatively safe area, but with some of the heat that the Joker brings, I didn't know if that was going to cause any kind of kerfuffle or I just want to go and have a safe movie going experience. Do you guys have any fights out there or any gang activity?
No. It's really safe around here.
Okay, so you sound like a young lady. You probably go to your car at night and you don't have any trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
That's good.
Not at all.
Because I'll be honest with you. I am about the size of a young lady. I'm a small gentleman, and it's people do laugh. It's okay. I've built up a nice callus towards it, but I have been mistaken for a lady before, and if I go to the car, I don't want to be harassed. But you've never had that issue out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we've never had an issue anywhere, so it's relative. It's very safe.
Okay. But you haven't heard any people talk about like, ooh, the Joker's coming out. I'm going to cause some trouble.
Nope. Nothing. Not a peep.
Okay. And do you guys have a BYOB thing out there? If I want to bring like a 6-pack of Coors or something?
Oh, we do not have. No, we don't have any sort of alcohol. It's no outside food or beverage.
So I can't bring alcohol in, and you don't sell alcohol. You don't sell alcohol. Okay. All right. I guess my last question is just, it's one word. Raisinets?
We do have Raisinets.
Perfect. Any chocolate covering almost anything I would eat.
Yeah.
And that Joker.
Nope, we have that.
The Joker opens this Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
We do have it on Friday. We do have it on Thursday too.
Well, again, I'm not going to be one of those guys that comes out. I got to get up early. I work at the library.
Oh, we have it at 6.
6 p.m. on Friday?
On Thursday.
On Thursday? You know what? I will be there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, we do have a 4 o'clock. Sorry. I'm just looking at our
4 o'clock
scheduling.
even.
We do have a 4 o'clock.
And you say your name
If
was
you wanna do
Carol,
early.
right?
Huh?
You said your name was Carol?
Yeah.
You sound like a young lady. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't
You
hear.
look young enough.
I was just gonna say I don't hear a lot of like. I feel like Carol is usually a name that older ladies have, so it's nice to hear young Carols.
I know.
No,
Usually they're like, my grandma has that name. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
I think names that are associated with older people when younger people have them, I think that's really cool. So you shouldn't be ashamed of that. Just like I'm not ashamed of being the size of a young lady.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You bet.
Keep that in mind.
I will see you on Thursday, and I will not be bringing a 6-pack of Coors.
Thank you.
All right, goodbye. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Dude.
So there's some information about the Joker.
I'm serious, dude. Whenever you like call somebody, I just sit back and you're great at it. I could not do that. I couldn't. How do you do that? Do you have not any like?
Here is the trick. You want to know the trick?
Yes, I do want to know the trick.
There's two things. Okay, so
Big penis.
Well, honestly, that is part of it. There's two things. I have two hands. One holds the phone, right? And while I'm on the phone talking, I'm being very sincere. I want to be sincere.
Sure,
I don't want to make a fool out of the person
Right.
I'm talking to. And the other thing is, I am taking the other hand and I am pinching my nutsack as hard as I possibly can. It diverts like any kind of like
Sure. Jokey,
yeah.
ha, laugh.
Absolutely.
Right.
So it's the combination of those two things that I can do that flawlessly, time after time, not unlike Cyndi Lauper.
That makes you. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Well,
at that.
I appreciate that. Today was
And I can't believe she didn't hang up on you like we were talking about the guns and security. That
inquiring minds. Am I right?
they want to know. I want to know.
I want to know that today we discussed the pilot episode of Defenders of Dynatron City from the year of our Lord 1900 plus 92. Great year.
Great year for the Roses.
Hell yeah.
Let's do the math.
Please, let's count it down. Number 1.
I was sexy and 17.
And I was 11.
17.
Both prime numbers. High five that shit.
Prime that shit.
High prime that shit.
17. I was getting the poontang.
Yeah.
Right? There was poontang to the left of me.
What about your right?
I looked over. There was poontang to the right.
Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing,
Poontang
bada
to the
boom.
right, which is a story I'm not sure I've told. I did tell the story about sex for clothes, but Angie, she had the biggest fucking boobs I've ever been with. They
Angie
were
Vecchio?
No. This is a different Angie.
Multiple Angies.
She worked at McDonald's too, and it was after Angie Vecco broke up with me.
So McDonald's is like, we want to hire a lady's named Angie that'll fuck Blake.
That's pretty sure. And she was crazy. And
That doesn't sound like a lady at all.
She had the biggest hajunga. I mean, they were humongous.
Did you just call boobs hajungas?
Yes, I did.
You know what is very curious to me? We talked about last episode, Oreos, right?
The Aureolas.
Areola sizes.
Oh,
what determines the size of an areola?
I don't. That we should call a lady because I don't know.
Do you care to comment on the hajungas of the second Angie the second?
She was famously on the Knights of the Round Table. They were humongous. They were the biggest ones, obviously, I'd ever seen or even been able to touch because it was only the second girl I had sex with. But they were so big, and it was like, I mean, I could have died from them.
Did they LL Cool J Mama knock you out?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
and I think that's why, I didn't pay attention to how crazy she was. Or
she was hypnotizing you with the pendulous swing of her hajungas.
They were just so cute. It's the first time I saw somebody move around. It's like, oh my gosh!
Yeah, like you'd be as crazy as you want to be.
I'm thinking,
you're a big boob guy though, right? You love big milk muscles.
well, now here's the thing. I've gone through stages in my life. I've been a big milk jug guy,
right?
And I've been a
2%. I'm whole myself.
I like the whole. And there's been other times where the booty has been a big thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Not so humongous, but just a good sized booty that you could smack.
They could punch as hard as possible.
And then there was the neck thing for a long time.
That's kind of still in effect, right? You love a lady.
Rex and effects.
You love a lady whose hair reveals the neck. You
Right.
find there's something very sexy and sexual about the
If it
neck.
gets too long, I smack her in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cut that shit.
Hell yeah.
But there's been times in my life that's been different.
You're right.
You know what I mean? One time twice I was enthralled with a girl in a uniform.
Yeah.
You know, one had a gun.
That's when you had
one had a gun, for Christ's sake.
That's when you had the threesome with that girl and her horse, right?
No, it was a girl and her friend from.
But where'd the horse come
Tennessee.
from? What am I thinking?
Well, we used to go. She had a horse. We used to go ride it drunk.
Oh, that's what it was.
And speaking of which, I haven't heard from her in a long time. Right? Her name was Trish. Right?
Trish the Dish.
Trish the Dish. I have not heard from her in a long time. The other day on Instagram.
Sure.
Instagram. She
Trish
has,
the Dish.
She has like this cake decorating business.
Is it erotic cakes?
And I wish they were. But she started like in one day she posted like 13 posts of like all these different like customized cakes that she's made, and they're amazing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like she contacted you.
Well, I was on Instagram and she
So you like you sneaked her out, huh?
No, I didn't search for her. Like I've already been following her and she hadn't posted for like 2 years.
Okay.
And then she posts all over the place.
So I was up in Chicago recently, right?
Yeah.
I was with my lady friend.
Were you in
and,
Riot Fest? Were you at Riot Fest?
Hell yeah, I was.
Did you cause a riot? Let's cause a riot.
Who sings that? Is it like Hinder?
3 Days Grace.
Whatever.
No,
No, I'm sure you're right.
that's a good song.
It's new butt rock, is what it is. I was up to Riot Fest, and I was staying with my friend David, and David says, "Hey, why don't you come out to this place?" Right? And it's like, all right. So we go to this bar, and they're having he's married to an Asian lady.
Nice.
And so
that's the guy that went
filter by
specifically-
Asian.
That-
And Dave is basically he's entrenched in the Asian culture.
Sure.
So we go up there, and this party that we're at is all Asian people, and it's this cool little back patio
You
of this bar.
You didn't like send me any pictures or nothing?
No, I don't care about that. I was with my lady friend,
Sure.
and we were there.
No, I want pictures of Asian people.
I understand what you want.
All right.
And we're both like, we just spent all day at Riot Fest. We can't go back and stay the night at my friend's house because he's here at this party. We have to stay at this party until he leaves. And her and I are tired. And she's just like, oh my God, I want some cake. When can I get some cake?
Dad is great. Give us chocolate cake.
And so she starts Googling on her phone. She said, where is the cake? And the closest thing that comes up for cake, and this is, mind you, this is about midnight, is and it's not even open, but there is an erotic cake store. And so she starts pulling up images of these erotic cakes, and you got big fat titties. You got huge, thick, veiny cocks.
Big country booty. Big country titties.
That you can just eat. You imagine sticking your butcher's knife into a big, veiny piece of cock meat and taking a bite. What?
My dick? Butcher's knife?
Yeah. Can you imagine that, though? Like, what would be the occasion in your life where you'd say, one set of tits, please?
Your birthday.
You did do that for my birthday one time. You made me a boob cake. That was awesome.
I was like, is he going to set it up? He did? Oh, shit.
Boom.
Yeah. The areolas weren't that big on that.
And that's fine. I like almost undetectable areolas.
Were they just like a millimeter bigger than the nipple?
I almost want no nipple at all. Yeah, just almost nothing.
No. Do you want no areola or no nipple? You have to have
both.
No, you can't.
I want almost nothing. I want like a little pinprick. That's what I want.
That's funny.
Oh boy. So that's how I spent my time in Chicago.
Do you have a good time?
It was good. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Why doesn't your girlfriend like me? Can we call her and ask her that?
No, we're absolutely not calling her. 1992.
Yep.
You were 17, getting poontang. I
You were
was
11.
11, drinking probably actual tang. We have to go back to 1992 in our minds because this film, the cinema, came out in 92 and not 2019.
Right. You can't look at a pilot that happened in 1992 and judge it based on what you know today in 2020.
Not fair. Not fair. This sure Burt Bacharach bass song.
In 1992, first of all, we didn't have the cult leader himself, Will Smith.
Oh, what cult is he in?
Huh?
What cult is he?
Summertime.
The Summertime Cult? Okay. Are you happy with that?
I am so happy with that, and I'm actually
That's all I can ask for.
I'm happy with that, but mad by your response. We didn't have Band-Aids, obviously. Duh. We didn't have NyQuil.
You're rubbing your chest. I think that's Vicks Vapor Rub for your rubbing NyQuil on your chest. Good Lord. Yeah, Vicks Vapor Rub is what you rub on your chest to alleviate stuffiness, but you,
Did you ever have somebody tell you to put it on your feet?
no.
My wife has put Vicks Vapor Rub on my feet.
Does it work?
Yeah.
But never NyQuil. Never the liquid NyQuil you've rubbed on your body. Does your wife ever put you in the tub and pour liquid NyQuil all over your body? Good night. Good night, Quill.
We didn't have Band-Aids.
Yeah, I got that. October 1st, these are things we did have. October 1st, again, 1992, Turner Broadcasting System launches Cartoon Network, the first all-animation television channel. Were you ever into the Cartoon Network? Because, I mean, I was at, I think, a semi-appropriate age for it, where you were maybe...
A little bit too much.
Yeah, but were you ever into it or not?
No, not until they started showing some of the edgy stuff.
What's the edgy stuff? Adult Swim?
Yeah.
This is like 2001, 2002. Did you ever have like a favorite Cartoon Network original?
I don't think I can name one.
Include Adult Swim in there.
Robot Chicken.
There you go.
I love Robot Chicken.
It's a good example.
I seriously, to me, Robot Chicken was good. It was smart. It was edgy.
It was
funny,
sexy.
It was sexy.
I love the Venture Brothers. I don't know if you ever saw that show.
Nope.
It's pretty good. It's smart. It's funny. But I think what I love the most would have to be Space Ghost.
See, I've heard you talk about Space Ghost before. I
Thank
know
you.
who he is. He has a white uniform, a black cape, and a black mask, and he had a talk show. But I remember as like a praying mantis.
Yeah, I think what it was is like
oh yeah.
Well, Ted Turner was like, I started a Cartoon Network. He's like, all right. So they said, how can we infuse? Because there's got to be 24 hours a day, or roughly about that. You know,
Right.
we got to pump it full of something.
Yeah, you can only have so much like stuff that you're recycling that you bought that it was public domain or whatever.
It was like, how are we going to fill this time? It says, well, why don't we give Hanna and Barbera a lot of money and we'll get their entire catalog? So they did that. And one of the things in there is Space Ghost.
Okay.
But Space Ghost was only around for like a couple of years. And people were like, oh, this is fucking stupid. And it was. It was him and a monkey, and I think Jan and Ace, the Wonder Twins. Very dumb.
Oh, I love the Wonder Twins.
I don't know.
Wonder Twins activate.
Form of water.
Water.
Form of bucket for water. And so they said, what's something awful? And they took the Space Ghost and they turned it into something, to me, it was a cultural phenomenon.
All right. Phenomenon. Dun, 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 dun.
October 3rd. After performing a song protesting alleged child abuse by the Catholic Church, Sinead O'Connor rips up a photo of Pope John Paul II on Saturday Night Live, causing huge controversy, leading the switchboards at NBC to ring off the hook.
That just came up on my Facebook thing for some reason, but I remember that.
Did you watch it when it happened?
I think so, yeah. And
Nothing compares
to you. She's not as pretty as she was.
I feel like we did talk about her recently. But were you ever... did you ever see a switchboard before?
No.
No?
Yeah, I was never involved in it. But you were a manager for a hotel. Did you have a switchboard?
We didn't really have a switchboard per se. No,
so to speak?
We had a... thank you. We had a like a console that was in charge of like all of the wake-up calls. So you have to enter information. But it was never one of those like fucking Lily Tomlin things where you pull a pin out and then take that pin and put it...
Dingy, two ringy dingy.
Well, you know you're a Tomlin. I was just
all about the Tomlin.
You're a tomboy?
I'm a Tomlin tomboy.
October 21st, 150,000 coal miners march in London to protest government plans to close coal mines and reduce the number of coal miners.
Ironically, the job that they had that was killing them, they protested to not stop it.
Say, give us black lung. We
Yeah.
want it.
I could never imagine doing that job, even like today, like with all the health standards there are.
Yeah.
Let alone
You'd
back
be-
in the 90s.
You'd be a hole in the ground. All you're doing all day is kicking up dust.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
Yeah, toxic dust, basically.
It says 150,000 coal miners marched in London to protest.
Born a coal miner's daughter.
Do you think we could get 150,000 podcasters to march?
Maybe for sound quality?
I was just going to say, what would our cause be? Sound quality.
quality.
We want more sound quality.
We want better sound quality.
And then everyone would be like, well, I mean, you're quite literally, you are responsible for that. Like, well, yeah, it's fine. Our march is complete.
Right.
Anyway, why do we choose to watch Defenders of Dynatron City?
There's 3 simple criteria. Guys, tighten up and get back to it. We got a little wanky danky.
Pull your boners out.
On episode 200, but it was a pilot that never made it to series. Whether it or not is irrelevant. Number 2, we had to find it on the internet, and number 3, it had to be free, baby. You say, baby?
I say baby, too. Where can you find the entire episode for Defenders of Dynatron City for your dumb self? Well, you can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots in Spotify or Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do.
Flight attendants.
Go to YouTube!
Prepare for takeoff, please.
Go to YouTube.
DSJ down there, he's reinvigorated with a little bit of anger. Like, he's still mad at us, but he's like pumped. Like,
I think he's in a good spirit.
when he's swinging those golden cones, I mean, he's really doing. Like, for a while, he was just kind of like...
And for the uninitiated, of course, DSJ stands for Down Syndrome John. He's our loyal tarmac worker
And he has
out there
Down
with
syndrome.
He does.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. He's out there with the golden cones directing us as we take our flight every single week. Thank you, DSJ.
He's in the back rear view mirror right now, and looks good.
That's where he belongs. Summary of the pilot. Here's the cartoon pilot for the LucasArts video game of the same name.
Okay, that's a fact.
And you know, it's funny you say that because that kind of bleeds right into interesting facts.
Did I fuck that up?
That's a good segue.
I'm not a good seguer.
Interesting facts. I look into the show. I say, hey, there's stuff you don't know, and I will find out what that is, and I will tell you about it, but you can't comment on it because you're going to taint the experience for someone else hilarious. So as I read these off, please don't comment. Hey, it's all right. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, it's all right. I just want people to know that taint is a funny word.
It's pretty funny. It rhymes with paint, but it means something wildly different.
Completely different.
Defenders of Dynatron City is a video game released for the Nintendo Entertainment System by JVC and Lucasfilm Games, later LucasArts, in August 1992. Fact.
Is that Lucas from, like, Star Wars?
Jorge Lucas. Yes,
Okay.
correct.
This show is built on the back
Good
of his
Lord.
back burps.
Do I have more beer to drink? I do. Holy shit.
I will give you one if you want one.
No, I have a lot more. This is ridiculous. The game was adapted into an animated pilot by DIC Entertainment, also known as DEEK. Fact.
That's a fact. I mean, what are you going to do? Say it's not? I mean, it's not. This show's good.
It features the voices of Whoopi Goldberg
Oh, God.
and Tim Curry, my favorite Indian dish.
That amazes me that Whoopi Goldberg was on this.
Whoopi.
Whoop. Whoop. There it is. Whoop. There it is.
Shakalaka,
Shakalaka,
shakalaka.
shakalaka, shakalaka.
Originally, Dr. Mayhem was voiced by Christopher Walken. Everyone does a Walken. Interesting facts. Pause. What's your Walken?
You mean originally Dr. Mayhem was a Christopher Walken? You do you. You do yours.
I'll do mine. Okay, yeah. I mean, like, oh my God, hey, Sandy.
That's John Travolta.
What's John Travolta?
What you just did.
She used to be an actress.
Oh,
Yeah?
really? She
Oh,
do
really?
anything out of scene?
And I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
I think that's John
Pilot
Travolta,
was a
isn't it?
pilot.
Yeah, but
Well, you know the shows on
imitation
TV?
you did, it's
I don't
not
watch
it was
TV.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention
This is
called
John
television, and
Travolta.
on this invention they show
Well,
shows.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the way they pick TV shows is they make one show. That show's called a pilot. Then they show that one show to the people who pick shows. And on the strength of that one show, they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get chosen and become television programs. Some don't. Some nothing. She started one that became nothing.
You don't know what
Will you
hard
do your
times are
Christopher
that
Walken so we can move along?
I just did. Let me do it again.
Yeah. Say, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight.
Oh my God, this pilot may have been rough, Sandy.
That sounds just like Christopher Walken to me. Move along.
Okay, I'm trying.
No, you try good. You tried good.
Jason, try good. Interesting facts back on. Originally, Dr. Mayhem was voiced by Christopher Walken, period, space. Steve Purcell. He's an American cartoonist, animator, and game designer. He's most widely known as the creator of Sam & Max. He recalled, "It was lively and hilarious when Christopher Walken..."
Oh, I bet. A lot better than the Dr. Mayhem they have.
Well, for God knows what reason, the producers at the last minute replaced him with a more cartoony voice, done by Charlie Adler, if you will. Fact. Oh, good. Finally catching up with me on some of these belches. Oh, very good. Do you know what the key is to a powerful belch?
Birch. Yeah, you got to scrape
Burp,
that wood.
belch. Do you know what the key
You
is?
said birch, which is a type of tree.
I know what I said. Do you know what the key is?
No.
It's to breathe in deep right before you burp, and then everything comes out.
Nice. High five that shit.
Oh, I'll five it. Fox Kids aired this pilot as a special on February 22nd, 1992. It failed to be picked up as a series and was subsequently released on VHS. No DVD or digital release has surfaced as of yet. Fact.
That's a fact. I was going to comment, but I can't. This show is built in the back of his
You hear that? Do you hear that powerful burp?
Yeah.
That's what that is. I breathe in deep, and then I let it go. I have Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. I'm hoping Jason got some Twitter responses.
And I did, thankfully, today. As I say to everyone, all the people involved, I say, hey, you're a creator, you're a writer, you're an actor, producer, director. Greetings from Couch Pilots Podcast. We talk about TV shows that had only one episode. Next up for us is Defender of Dynatron City. We're excited to watch it. We're wondering if you had any fun or interesting info you'd want to share. Thanks! Hope to hear from you. Soon. We just were talking about Chris Walken. He's like, why would they replace it with a different guy? This is that guy. Dr. Mayhem was voiced by Charlie Adler, a very famous and blue check marked on Twitter, which means you're too legit to shit. He is a very famous voice actor, Charlie Adler. I said, hey, what do you want to share? Do you know anything about this? And he responded, he says, I'd love to comment, but sadly, I can't remember it at all. And I guess the reason it only aired once might be the reason.
Exactly.
He says, let me know more about it after you view, and maybe something will jog my memory. Enjoy. I hope.
Yeah. Well, at least he responded. I appreciate that. But that just a little foreshadow, the reason why he doesn't remembering it, because he didn't make any money off of it, because it was horrible.
Well, this is something I remember too. Like a lot of these voice actors, if you look at some more of the prominent ones, they will have quite literally hundreds of things under their resume.
They're not going to remember every one of them.
They're in high demand.
Right.
And so a guy like this who's got a lot of stuff under his belt, 1992, 2019, one episode, he seriously probably doesn't remember.
That was 17 years ago.
I have trouble remembering what I had for dinner last week.
But up
chunk chink. Oh, thank you.
You probably had Taco John's because you have it a lot.
Love that Taco John's. Give me those tater.
Is it because it's next to your house? Like, well, it can't be because. Do you like Avani's?
I do like Avani's. That's right by my house too.
If you had one more meal left, would you go to Taco John's or Avani's?
Ooh, good question.
Ham and cheese on a.
If I could get anything I wanted between the two places, I would.
Betwixt.
Fuck. I'm sorry.
Why can't you just do it right?
I'm sorry. I as a vote of no
Which
confidence.
would you choose? Avani's or Taco John's? Pick it.
I pick a chicken parmesan with meat sauce from Avani's.
Nice. Good job.
So, oh, hey, thanks. Appreciate that. And I will see you later. This is me carrying the show for approximately 90 seconds again. Well, in response to Charlie Adler, I said, thanks for replying. I'll check it out and let you know. Thanks again. He says, I look forward to it. So I watched it. And then the next day I sent him a little message. I said, hey, you were the voice of Dr. Mayhem. He was by far the most amusing part of the program. Just so you know, sir, maybe it'll spark a memory, is Tim Curry, Whoopi Goldberg, another famed voice actor, Pat Fraley. I think this guy does literally he does clinics on how to do voice acting. So I've not heard back from Charlie Adler, but if he does get back to me, next time on Couch Pilots you'll hear all about it. But I thank him for that. And in the interim, I would like to play a commercial, and we don't play commercials much anymore, but here is one for a program known as the Defenders of Dynatron City, and here's just a little taste of what that show is all about.
Welcome to Dynatron City, proud symbol of the atomic age. Wait, something has gone wrong. Mutants are taking over the metropolis. Who can stop these terrifying creatures? Only a new breed of superhero with superpowers
I'm charged.
can save our world.
You lift your head.
Glad you mentioned it. Watch The Defenders of Dynatron City, Saturday, February 22nd on Fox.
Little taste of what's to come here, and by what's to come, I mean right now, because this is a 22-minute pilot, and we've got about 10 minutes to discuss it. Captain Philip, rest assured, are you prepared to discuss your notes?
I love atomic power.
Do it immediately.
Here we go. It's basically the beginning of this is a commercial for...
Which is pretty much what we just heard. Right?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
Yeah, I know.
I'd go TT. You ever go TT before?
Beginning is early computer graphics.
Don't get mad.
I don't like calling it PP. I don't like calling it TT. Okay?
But you got mad because I was trying to start it.
I don't like when you get up and pee while I'm trying to do a fucking podcast, all right?
Well,
you got 3 empty cans out here. You
do you
spit
want me
all
to
3
whip
of
my
them.
dick out and start peeing?
Absolutely.
Next time I'll do that.
I want you to cut the tip of your cock while you were trying to put it in a Miller Lite can.
Well,
and honestly, I think it would be pretty good show content if you were pissed into a can.
So this guy, it's basically at the beginning of this. It's an advertisement for this city that is based off of atomic power, which we know is radioactive and it can kill you. Hashtag Chernobyl.
If done incorrectly, I think nuclear power at this point in our lives is probably the safest and cleanest form of electricity. You don't think so?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, you think it's better than oil or coal, where we dig up the earth and fuck shit up?
But people have died. Whole cities will fucking.
If there is a nuclear
Chernobyl,
if there's a nuclear
is
meltdown,
it worth the risk? Is it worth the risk?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fine. Fuck me, right?
You know what? Fuck you. Protocola. This is the future.
Protocola.
It's like a propaganda video, right?
Yeah, it's like Four Loko.
It is. It is like Four Loko. They're saying it's safe, clean, and inexpensive. It's like the 1950s. Remember in the 50s when everything looked like the future? They're trying to make things
the Jetsons kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they say mutation is like a way of life.
Yeah, so we understand that with atomic power, things happen, and you come in contact with it. Mutation happens, whatever.
Human beings purposely mutate themselves. It looks like in
this
future.
Guy takes a drink of a Four Loko, and then all of a sudden he has four arms.
Yeah,
and he's like, that's cool.
What's really funny too is because not only does he have 4 arms, but the trench coat that he's wearing automatically has 2 extra arms in the trench coat.
I like that. We find that there's a big-headed guy and a blue monkey. We find out the big-headed guy is Dr. Mayhem by
Charlie Adler, the voice actor. Yep.
Obviously not Christopher Walken, who would have been horrible.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, Sandy! And he started the city of with atomic power, and it was his dream. It was his invention, and something bad happened where they said, "You out, boy."
But it almost looks like he's in charge of the Protocola. Like his headquarters.
I didn't get to that.
It is there, right?
That was what his beginning to getting them back was. He invented this cola that causes a mutation, and his idea. He only has access not to atomic power, but only electric power.
Yeah,
because he's been shunned, right? And he's going to make robot drones. They're going to take over the city, and so we can gain it back.
Yeah, that's the plan. He's got a talking blue monkey in a cage. I don't even know if I really got the monkey's name until later.
I don't remember it until later.
He wants a conquering army of robot drone soldiers, and he's like monitoring his front gate with some surveillance stuff. It's like his facility, the protocol facility, and then a group of people show up. I think they're all there for different reasons, but they get there at the same time.
Wendy is there because she works for the electric company, and it has been reported that this guy is using way too much electricity instead of atomic power. Mary and Brent are delivery people for this cola.
Yeah, and they want to get paid, right? They say, "Hey, I've just made delivery."
Left my nigga's house paid. Fucked the girl I've been trying to fuck since the 12th grade. Right? Something like that?
I would say it's exactly like that. Good gravy.
And so Brent's like, hey, I want paid. He starts knocking on the camera, and he says, I want to get paid, or I'm going to go in there and kick some butt.
He does. He's serious, too, because they do end up breaking in there. Almost immediately. It doesn't matter what color they are, but the white guy, he's white, he's got blonde hair, and they got a black chick, right? And then you got another white girl. And this girl's voice, throughout the entire program, it is so sexual. Oh. It is so sultry. This rivals that broad from the Battletoads as one of the sexiest cartoons. Why are they making cartoons so sexy?
I had a boner.
You had a boner? Hi, boner, that shit. So the monkey frees himself after
No, Brent frees the monkey.
Okay. Hit it, please. I missed something.
Well, they go in there and they help the monkey out the cage because they somehow get in, and they snap it, and he gets out because of them. And all of a sudden, there's a dog.
Yeah, there is a dog. Yeah, there's a dog.
You don't see the dog in the first scene outside the factory.
Also, there's a toolbox.
Fucking.
So you got the three people outside with their dog and a toolbox. They go inside. I think they get captured or something. Sure. And then the monkey
accidentally.
They let the monkey out. Then the monkey gets tied up with them.
Who let the monkey out? Woo, 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 woo.
The monkey gets out, and then he accidentally drowns everyone that was captured with him with Protocola,
which is Four Loko.
Yeah. So, and then here comes the robot army. They're shooting lasers and buildings. Mayhem is attacking the city right now.
Right.
Why would you attack and destroy the city that you want to rule? Do you want to rule ruins?
Well, you had to start over, just like Julius Caesar did.
But anyway,
right after Brute
at two
Stab Day
at two, Blake. You
Balake too? Is your name Balake?
The three
Balake Clay on. Can I have Balake Clay on? Say hi.
Do it.
It's not my fucking name.
The three of the people that were in there, they emerged from the Protocola as super beings.
Right. So there was 3 human bodies that went in there. The black lady that worked for the electric company, Wendy, Mary, and Brent. But they come out as 4 people and a dog. I don't remember the dog at all.
I don't really remember the dog either.
And I don't remember a 4th guy. And so, like, for the next 10 minutes, I'm like, where did this 4th guy come from? About 10 minutes left of the show, I realized the fucking toolbox became a man.
Protocola covered an inanimate object and gave it sentiency to become a superhero.
Huh?
The black chick is Ms. Megawatt. The white broad is Buzzsaw Girl, whose legs go down to a buzzsaw that you'd find on like a table saw. Yeah. And so she's like cruising around like fucking Launchpad McQuack. What's that robot duck from DuckTales that's so cool?
I don't know anything about DuckTales. I'm not a nerd.
Woo! And then Jet Headstrong, which is a guy that's he looks like a fucking professional wrestler.
Yeah, that's Brett. He's super built, and only his superpower is he can take his head off, and it can be used as a missile.
His head comes off his body
fucking ridiculous.
A lot.
And I said this. I said, Green Superdog? Question mark. I don't, because I don't remember there being a dog at all.
I don't remember either, but they call him Radium Dog, and then the toolbox is alive too, and the monkey gets a costume as well.
Sure, it had bananas on it.
It's
because
like,
they're in pajamas.
It's like a banana bandolier, right?
Right, and so then I said, I wrote this. Who's the hammer guy? Question mark. Wasn't there only 3 people?
It's a toolbox,
and I had to write toolbox on the side.
The new team heads to the city to try to stop Dr. Mayhem.
They're like, well, we need a name.
Do they come up with a name? Oh, they're on top of a building?
The monkey goes, Defenders of Dynatron City.
Yeah. So they do that. They give themselves a name, and then they really do very easily dismantle the robot threat.
High five that shit. I wrote, they easily destroy all the drones.
They were human beings. 2 arms, 2 legs. They come out of this thing with heads popping off their body, 2 legs coming down to a point on a buzzsaw. Ms. Megawatt's probably the one that most resembles a human being after this. But they all have these powers that they immediately come to terms with and immediately know how to at least maneuver a little bit. Right. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, so they beat the robots, and then Ms. Megawatt shocks the robots, and then when they say tilt on them, and I thought about you and pinball, because you love pinball so much.
Thank you, buddy.
Anyway, Mayhem runs away with his armies destroyed.
Yeah, he isn't intimidated at all, though.
Yeah, he's kind of pissed off that they
He's
did
like,
that.
you guys, I'm going to take my plane. I'm going to go back to my headquarters. And so the defenders win. So all of a sudden, Buzzsaw, the porn star, kisses Jack my head off.
Yeah. He goes back. He's got this weird large robot head thing. It's like a big brain. And that thing brings a bunch of things to life. And it makes him a bunch of new weapons and soldiers for Mayhem to attack the city again.
So you go back to this attacking the city, but it ends up the same way.
Well, you know what? This big head kind of like takes the team to task. And then they kind of figure out to work together.
Yeah, they all of a sudden they're going to become a team. Like that's how you defeat them, is to become a team. But I felt like, okay. The buzzer went.
This next section.
Please
you can
remain
talk about.
seated
That's
as
why
we
I
are now
stopped.
crossing a zone
I've
of
done this
turbulence.
before.
Hit it.
This is turbulence. Turbulence, as some people would say.
Yeah, this is
like,
what's wrong with this show. Oh, I'm sorry. No, turbulence is the part where we say, hey, what didn't work? How can we improve it? Where would it go forward if it survived? But you have some ideas.
Sure. First of all, the superhero names, nerds, even you wouldn't like this. They're very generic superhero names. Like they're Buzzsaw,
Jet Headstrong.
They're really
Ms.
bad.
Megawatt, Atomic Radium Dog.
This is the most very basic storyboard, script, and dialogue. It's very basic. It's very like, this is what we do next. This is what we do next. And I don't know where the dog came from, and I don't know where the toolbox guy came from 45 minutes into it.
Well, I think they were carrying a toolbox.
Well, but they happened, like when they got in the tub to where that stuff came out, they Dr. Mayhem chained up the toolbox. Yeah. But at the time, I'm like, that's stupid. And then but I forgot about it even.
Yeah, no.
It was basic. This
is a lot like Battletoads. We already said earlier the sexy blonde girl in this was very much like the
and
other.
It was a video game because
that's exactly
Battletoads
right.
was a video game as well.
Battletoads was a video game for. It might have been even a comic book first. I don't know, but it was a video game, and then it ended as a cartoon series. Kind of like this actually became a comic later too. The Defenders of Dynatron City, but it started as a Nintendo Entertainment System video game, then a crappy pilot. Then comic book. So all these things kind of say, hey, what do nerds like? How can we dip into all these different mediums for nerds so they can give us their money? And this apparently is the answer. But if you were to improve this,
what did you not like about it?
I don't like how they talk down to kids.
Yeah,
they basically just say, here's a bunch of shit, accept it. Here's some fighting. This doesn't have to be.
There was no fighting. It was just. You're doing something bad, I got you. And that's it.
Yeah, like Buzzsaw, she's like, hey, watch what I do. And all these robots are standing still. And then she zips around, she stops, and everything collapses.
Yeah. It was dumb.
give us a story that makes sense.
Sure.
Give us things that happen.
Give me some conflict. There really was no conflict. They did. The fights were very quick.
Mm-hmm.
They were very obvious. It was very one-sided, and there was no like struggle.
Yeah. Give us a story that makes sense, and we can actually be like, okay, I can buy it.
Sure.
There's a lady with a buzzsaw for feet. That's fine, but I don't know.
How is she going to have sex? Because all she thinks about is fucking Brent on this.
All these kids watching this show want to know how Buzzsaw is going to fuck. Give us some answers, Fox Kids. DIC Entertainment, step up to the plate and give us some fucking answers.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
All right, wise guy. I said last week, people from around the world gave 5.7 to Defenders of Dynatron City, but out of how many ratings?
112.
40. Critic reviews. Cassidy Ward from BigShinyRobot.com says, the animated episode, however, is actually a lot of fun. If a little on the nose, it's surprising that it wasn't picked up for more episodes. While the episode was referential and over the top at times, it had a fairly unique premise and entertaining characters. I would have liked to have seen Mirror.
Everything that lady said is the opposite of what happened.
That's a lady.
It wasn't a lady?
Cassidy Ward.
Cassidy's a lady.
I said it was a lady.
Oh, that's it. It was a lady.
Well, you got my cadence down. RetroOasis.com says, an interesting idea on paper, but poorly executed. The heroes weren't all that dynamic. The plot was shoddy, even for a pilot. I will admit, if given a better polished job, or Polish, however you describe it, could have been some hope. But in the end, it's just another piss poor Deke cartoon.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Viewer reviews. A weird, freaky show based on a comic, or did the game come first? Question mark.
Well, you answered that.
I definitely
Game came
did.
first. Not the egg.
He says a great show during Fox Kids' best years, in my opinion. And that's that guy's review. He goes on to say some more, but it's not really worth it. Instead, we'll just give our reviews. How about that?
Do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
1 to 7. Remember Gene Siskel?
Yeah, I remember Ebert too.
He exploded from a brain aneurysm. Do you remember? You said Ebert, Roger Ebert. His jaw fell off. So I think he had some kind of weird fucking mouth cancer.
Oh, okay.
And just,
I didn't know that. I was like, that's fucking.
They say
weird.
thumbs up, thumbs down. You go to the newspaper, they say 1 to 5 stars. Right?
Not us. We do things differently.
We're talking about IMDb. It says 1 to 10. No. 1 to 7. That's the scale.
That's the scale that you should focus on your whole life.
Yeah, I think you go to the doctor's office. The frowny faces, I feel the worst possible. That's a 1, and a big thumbs up should be a number 7. I feel good.
Yeah, you're smiling for sure.
Absolutely. 1 to 7. 1 being the worst, 7 being the best, based on the characters from the television program from the 1990s, accurately and affectionately called Wings. Taking all the characters into consideration, 1 is the worst score. That's a Roy Biggins. And number 7 is the best score, and that is Brian Hackett. Captain Philip Restisher, I turn to you. How do you rate Defenders of Dynatron City?
I'm giving this a boob bump because at one time, Buzzsaw Horror jiggles her tits while she's talking.
She really does.
She does.
She really does.
And I gave that a booby bump, and I give this a 1 because this is fucking awful.
Wow.
1. We have watched a lot of cartoons that have sucked. This honestly is the all-time worst and the laziest. Is because it was lazy. The writing was lazy.
It was, yeah, I agree with that. Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, just a 1.
You give it a 1. It's a bump from a 0 to a 1.
Mm-hmm. Booby bump.
A fabled 0 to a 1. I don't think I can go quite that low. It seems to me like it's the same animation as the Battletoads. It's very bright colors, very very cartoony, making no effort.
Quick movements.
Yeah, there's no effort to make it look real. It's being cartoony and colorful and goofy. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of a future city. The Protocola reminds me of what's that, BioShock? Did you ever play that game for the Xbox and
No, I don't
PS3?
play video games. I'm not fucking.
Well, I don't think you have to say all that part, but there's some cool things they could have done with the Protocola and the mutations. There's some good ideas kind of floating in here. And honestly, as a guy who played video games, definitely back then, I don't remember this video game. I don't have a recollection of Defenders of Dynatron City. It may have been a quality game. I would doubt it, but it could have been. There is potential here. I'm stuck between a 2 and a 3. I think I'm going to settle nicely in a 2.
Thank you.
It's not that great. I don't want to see any more of this.
No,
it's silly. They really do. You said the bad writing. They talk down to the audience. Give us a little something to work with.
It's lazy.
It's lazy. It is lazy. And with that, we close the book on the Defenders of Dynatron City, and we will never, ever speak of that show again. But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of Alarm. Here's a little something to whet your whistle. When a serial arsonist strikes in a residential neighborhood, Captain London and his assistant McEwen are detailed to prevent more blazes and apprehend the perpetrator.
Ooh, fire.
You can find the entire episode of Alarm by subscribing to Couch Pilots on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do too.
I wish you would just use a period. Act like you're a 30-year-old woman, and just once a month say it right.
What does that mean?
They have periods.
Only 30-year-old women do that?
Huh?
Nice. Go to couchpilotspodcast.com. You can hit us up on our email or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We use our Instagram every day, don't we?
No.
Would you say it's been years?
It's been
since you've posted Instagram?
Yeah. I used to do cover art for each episode.
Yeah, you did.
And I would spend a lot of time on it, and then I would post it, and it didn't help us.
Yeah, you used to do some stuff.
So don't go to our Instagram. I'll delete it if you want me. You want me to delete it?
You know what? Delete it.
I will.
But yeah, you used to do work for the show. I appreciate it. Call us at 910-PILOTS-1, 910-745-6871. Let us know how your experience at CouchCon was. Let us know if you saw Joker. We'd love to hear if you're the one to pull a gun on everyone in the theater, or if you got some Raisinets.
Yeah, either way. I'm interested. I won't go see it. I say I want to, but I won't go.
I will.
I won't. You want to go together?
Yeah.
For your birthday?
Yeah.
I'll buy. We'll go together for your birthday.
It looks like a comment on society and a character study.
Yes, with makeup.
I wouldn't mind that. And Mark Maron's in it.
Is he really?
Yeah, he plays Ted Marco. I think he's like a stage manager or something for like. There's a Tonight Show element to it that like De Niro plays like this late night talk show host. Yeah, De Niro's in it. And I think Mark Maron's kind of like the guy who runs the Tonight Show behind the scenes.
I should hashtag Mark Maron on this episode.
Well, yeah, I don't know if that'd do anything, but you can. Patreon, if you like what we're doing here, give us your money. We'll spend your money and do things that we want. Like you go out and you earn money, and then you give us that money, and we will spend the money you've earned.
Yeah, on things that
whatever we want.
Yeah,
probably 2 tickets to see Joker.
You know what? That we could do that.
What do you have to say to everyone? Is there a message of positivity? We're in a post 2019
apocalyptic.
Yeah. Thank you for finishing each other's sandwiches.
It's the 21st of October. What else do you think about?
Boners.
Besides boners. What do you think
boner
about?
busting.
What do you think about besides boners and boner busting?
I'm sorry, what's the time frame we're thinking about?
October 21st.
Halloween.
You're thinking of the second episode of Guys in a Bowling Alley.
Oh, yes.
Coming out. And it's a new podcast I have. And Jason made all the trophies for.
Thank you for saying that.
And it's basically a bowling game show with a lot of fun in it.
Yep.
And so
it's something that you do with friends, and sometimes I'm on the show, and sometimes I'm not. And
Sure.
But if you like Blake and want to hear his voice and be the master of ceremonies for this fun bowling game show, I would suggest it.
Like the puppet master.
Absolutely, you are.
At
the time of this recording, I haven't been on it, but I'm very excited to be on it.
I hate to say this name on this podcast because I don't like to say this name on this podcast.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Chris Hardwick.
Chris Hardwick. It's kind of like After Midnight meets bowling, which you kind of coined that phrase.
I put it out there because
it makes sense.
Yeah, let's have a game show. Let's not sure we can all score how we score with bowling, but let's add these extra elements of points, and that's exactly what you did. And it I have not even heard the first episode yet, but I'm very excited for it.
You have spawned many podcast ideas. Karaoke Big E. Now, guys in a bowling alley.
That was your idea.
Well, you can't.
pitched in.
You came on its chest.
I did. I looked at Square in the eye. I said, "Where do you want it?" They said, "Not in the hair or the face." I said, "Chest, it is."
I love you, brother.
And also with you.
I'm good. That's all I got.
Well, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Me love you long time.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.